To the Big Oily Dog channel, and today we're going to talk about myths for the novice hiker. I'm going to tell you whether they're true or not, so stand on by. Myth number one, and this is a really common one, and you'll hear this one a lot, but I'm just going to put this one to rest for you novice hikers with a sledgehammer. And myth number one is you hear Virginia is flat. Well, Virginia is not flat. That's the most asinine statement I ever heard. I think the misconception about Virginia, why it gets that, is because Virginia is 555 miles long. So the terrain can vary a bit, you know what I mean? It can get mellow from time to time. But Virginia is not flat, trust me. And I think a big reason why people say that, and they forget, you know, when they come to Shenandoah National Park, it's where I am right now, by the way. You walk 105 miles pretty much along Skyline Drive, along the top of the mountain. And there's elevation gain there, don't get me wrong, but the ground there is pretty smooth for the most part. So the trail seems a lot easier, but it's just the ground is smooth in Shenandoah. But I can tell you, Virginia is not flat. And, you know, some of our roughest days were in Virginia. I specifically remember Three Ridges. Everyone, I'm just coming down a mountain that really kicked my ass. I mean, it may be number one so far. I believe it's called, what's that thing up there? Three Ridges Mountain, something like that. Gosh. Me, Swilly, and Typical, we struggled on that one. And the first time of me recognizing the rocks on the trail is when we entered Mount Rogers area. I made the mistake of sitting down. Now I can't get up. Oh, I'm so tired. Finally out of Mount Rogers. I think we made it out. That was way rocky for me. I am trying to get out of Virginia, but it's very difficult. I'm on this last stretch they call it the roller coaster. The rocks are back, and it slows me down to a crawl, and it's just so aggravating. So Virginia is not flat, and it's not easy, but it is long, and so don't buy that a bit. You know, you're gonna suffer in Virginia a bit. You know, the terrain, the weather, I mean, you experience it all in Virginia, but it's definitely not flat, so don't buy that. Just trying to get into Waynesboro, Virginia, and man, it was a rough 77 miles. Man, I can't wait to get off this trail. Myth number two, and I'm going to stay on Virginia once again. This myth about you get the Virginia blues when you're in Virginia, because you're in Virginia, you know, like I said, for like 555 miles. I gotta say, I think for a lot of us, Virginia was our favorite state. Because, again, it's so much to see and do in Virginia, and it varies so differently. You know, me and Typical, we loved Virginia. Now, we were here a long time, but, you know, there's so much to see. You know, the Mount Rogers, the Triple Crown, Shenandoah, Grayson Highlands. It had some of the great parts of the trail and some of the most scenic. You know, for the blues for me, I'll tell you what state was the blues for me was North Carolina. Because, you know, that's when the full-blown, you know, your injuries and your mental state really deteriorate in North Carolina. And like I said in a prior video, you hike through Georgia, you know, it's like a honeymoon phase. You know, it's hard, but it's a honeymoon phase. But North Carolina just beats you, you know what I mean? But, you know, and it's forever, too. You know, it's, you know, a few hundred miles or something. So for me, my blues was North Carolina. I couldn't wait to get through North Carolina. And like I said, for you novice hikers, you make it through North Carolina, you can make it through the trail, because North Carolina is pretty hard. Now, it does get super, super hard in New Hampshire and Maine, but by the time you reach there, you're going to be a different hiker, you know, so you're going to suffer there tremendously. but you're going to be a totally different hiker, going up, by the time you reach there. So, your big first moment of pain and suffering is going to be the North Carolina. That's what it was for me. North Carolina blues, baby. Because every day it's the same. Wind, cold, rain, and me wearing this blue rain jacket. Myth number 3. The Yellow Deli is a cult located in Rutland, Vermont. Well, I'm going to call false on that one. We went up to Rutland. We heard about the Yellow Deli. And, when we got there, they couldn't have been nicer people. You got free breakfast there. You stay there for free. The place is immaculate. And they didn't bother anybody. They didn't try to recruit anybody or nothing. Now, I remember we had a free breakfast the next morning. We all went down there to eat. And there was a representative that came down and ate with us. He was a guy probably like 35 or so. But he told us, he goes, I know you guys hear a lot about us on social media. And, we say a lot of it is false, of course, but I'm just here to answer any of your questions you have about us. So that's the only time I ever heard anything about them even talking about their religion or place. And, people did have questions for them. And basically, one of the girls asked him, well, how do you get people here, And he said, we don't recruit people. He said, people come to us. We wouldn't recruit people because that wouldn't be the right people for that community, I guess. Now, don't kill me. I'm not saying, I agree with this community or anything, but, they offer a free service. They're harmless. It's a great place to stay. And the funny thing is, everyone goes there to stay. I see these YouTubers, they go there, and then they go on YouTube later on and say, oh, it's a cult. I had to sleep separate from the men. Like, dude, if I was a girl, I would love to sleep separate from the men. Like men, you don't have to deal with that heavy snoring. They're farting, blowing up the bathroom, hearing their disgusting, dirty talk. Now, I'm part of the men, so I'm not saying I don't do that and stuff. So, but what a great break for you to have that. I would like to sleep with the women, and get away from the men. I remember one of my worst experiences on this trail. I was at the Broken Fiddle in Damascus, and I was late getting there. And my bunk was right next to the bathroom. And all night long, I had to deal with these guys blowing up the bathroom. It sounded like World War IV in there, Like cannonballs going off and explosions and acoustic booms. And then they opened the door and the smell of toxic wave killing me. I had to sleep under my blankets the whole night. So I don't know, I guess I'm going off course here. But we had a really great time in the Yellow Deli. They were really nice. And everyone that was there had complaint of nothing. No one was intimidated by them or nothing. So, and I gotta tell you, they're always booked, sold out, solid. So I don't know where all this fear comes from. Yellow Deli. If you go there and you eat there and you stay there, and then you come out and complain about it later, I think give me a break. I think you're just trying to get clicks on the YouTube. But, so I'll put my opinion, I'll put a crush to that myth. Myth number 4. I'm going to kind of group this together because there's always debate what the hardest state is. Some people, a lot of us say Maine, like me. A lot of people say New Hampshire. So if I can group them together, Maine and New Hampshire, is that the hardest state? Absolutely true. There is no mercy given to you in the state of Maine and New Hampshire. When you go like North Carolina or, Virginia, you got big climbs there. North Carolina's got huge climbs, but they have what they call switchbacks. Trails that go up the mountain like this. Now it takes forever, but you're not doing this. You're not going straight up. Well, when you get to Vermont and and New Hampshire and Maine, there's no switchbacks there at all. They go straight up, and sometimes straight up boulder fields, it seems. So I'll put a fact truth on that one. New Hampshire and Maine is brutal physically. But remember, you started in Georgia, so you're tougher mentally. And, probably tougher physically. You're beat up, though. My knees were shot, in New Hampshire. Gosh, jeez. I had my knees wrapped in so much stuff. It was like armor, It was just a long haul to get through those states, but the beauty, you know, wow, it's really beautiful there too. Definitely physically the hardest states for sure. And if you were there when we were there, when they got 17 and a half foot of rain, it seems, oh gosh, was it hard. Jeez, I'm still not over it today. Like, I'm physically scarred, like, oh my gosh. Myth number 5 I think I'm on. Is Pennsylvania rocky? Stand by for that one. Is Pennsylvania rocky? As the Culpeper train's going by me here in downtown. When you walk into Pennsylvania, my goodness, that's crazy. Wow. Let me start this again. When you walk into Pennsylvania from Maryland, you're gonna hit a big uphill. But at some point, Pennsylvania turns into the most scenic farm walking, and it's grass walking. It's so spectacular. And I gotta tell you, my foot was killing me. So that level walking I experienced in Pennsylvania farm country, walking in there, I can't remember how long it was, probably had to be like 50 miles, was spectacular. It's really pretty too. But then you're gonna hit around Duncannon, Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania's gonna turn into this like rocky trail. Now it's not big rocks, it's small rocks, so your foot like can slide in and get hurt. Your trekking pole gets caught in between the rocks and like pulls your shoulder back when you're climbing through. Pennsylvania's pretty rocky, so I'm gonna say yes, that myth is good. I'm gonna give that one myth a good go. I think that's true. Pennsylvania is rocky, but remember, you walk into really nice farm country though, so it's not the whole state, but it's definitely going to be like half of it, so prepare yourself for that. Welcome and greetings to you from Seaside Heights, New Jersey. You know, kind of my hometown. I grew up over here. It's in the middle of winter, so it's totally deserted like a ghost town. But boy, come here in the summertime, this place is mobbed. Hiker hunger, is it a real thing? Stand by and find out here at the Jersey Shore. Hiker hunger, the old myth. You heard about this one a million times too. Is it true? Well, I gotta say, in my opinion, that's definitely true. Although, I can say, it really didn't exist for me. You know, I never really had hiker hunger. I was one of these guys that eats a little bit of food all day long. I can never eat like a big meal at one time. And I still maintain that pretty much, you know, on the Appalachian Trail. But I wonder if it's one of those things that hurt me, because you burn so much calories on the trail. I mean, tons. I mean, my iPhone would say like 4,000 calories a day, but my iPhone's just counting by the actual mileage. It's not accounting, you know, going up and downhill on these rocky trails, but you burn a ton. But I never did get that hiker hunger, although everyone I was with had it. I mean, I saw Vegas one time. We were in a town in Maine. He ordered 2 complete meals at this restaurant. I mean, meals by like, it came with a salad, a main meal like, you know, like chicken and mashed potatoes and a vegetable, and a dessert after that. He ordered 2 of those, and his place took up half the table. I was like, there's no way this guy's gonna eat all this. Well, you know it. He ate it all. I was like, wow, that's amazing. You know, and one time I was eating with typical Pal Townsend. He ordered something similar like that, and he was just wolfing it down. And you know, I got up and went to the bathroom or something. I came back, not only was all the food gone, but like the chair next to him was eaten, and the tablecloth, like he devoured everything. So I gotta say, even though it didn't pertain to me too much, that's definitely a good myth. You're gonna get hike hunger most likely, and you're just going to devour everything. Cell phone coverage on the Appalachian Trail. A lot of the myth is there's no reception on the trail, but I'm happy to report to you that I'm going to bust this myth. Now, you don't always have it. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of times where you have zero reception. But I can even remember, when I was walking in Georgia, I remember having full conversations on my phone while hiking the trail in Georgia. And it wasn't until I got to North Carolina that I got no reception. But having said that, you have a lot of reception in North Carolina, but that's the first time you're going to notice there's no reception. But you're going to have plenty of reception on the trail. It's not bad. And there was a couple of times where I was actually able to download videos while on the trail. I didn't have to wait to get to the hostel. But yeah, the cell phone coverage is pretty good. Now, there's another, I'll add this on there. There's always a thing on Facebook, like who has the best coverage. So I can report to you what I think what service provider has the best coverage. Now, I have T-Mobile, and I'm a T-Mobile hack. Like, I love T-Mobile. I get free Netflix with it. They're a lot cheaper than other ones, and they have really, really good service. But, I hiked along side by side with typical Pat Townsend, for 1,600 miles. He has Verizon. So I was able to compare T-Mobile versus Verizon. And I hate to say it because I love T-Mobile, but I'm going to give the edge to Verizon. I think Verizon had a little bit better coverage than T-Mobile, because there was a lot of times where I had no reception, he had a little bit. And there was actually a couple times where I had reception, he had none of it. But for the most part, Verizon prevailed a little bit more than T-Mobile. So Verizon was really good, but having said that, Verizon's very expensive, and I would go with T-Mobile over Verizon. But the coverage was pretty good. So have no fear about not having any phone cell reception. A lot of people think they got to carry those emergency inReach minis or whatever they call them. I gotta say, I don't think you really need that on the Appalachian Trail. This is my opinion. I mean, they're good to have, but like my iPhone has an emergency thing where if you have no signal on your phone, you have an option of like sending out an SOS message on your iPhone. I don't know a lot about it. Maybe some of you can tell me more about it in the comments, but you'll be fine with your cell phone. But don't misunderstand what I'm saying. There are parts of the Appalachian Trail where you will have no signal. In the 100-mile wilderness, I think there were some spots where you just had none. But during the day, there was always a point in the day where you would have it. So not to worry about that. That myth is busted. And also for the record, I did all my filming, every video on the Appalachian Trail with my iPhone. It was all done on my iPhone and a selfie stick. So I had a lot of success with the iPhone, and it was good. Oh, this next myth is a fun one for sure. And a lot of thru hikers that make YouTube videos always profess to this, and you're going to hear this a lot, but I'm going to tell you whether it's true or not. And that myth is you're going to poop your pants on the trail. Well, I got to say, just like with the hiker hunger thing with me, I didn't experience pooping my pants on the trail, and I'll tell you why. There were certainly times on the trail where you had emergency situations, but I was in the middle of the woods. So if it ever came down to that, where, I was going to poop my pants, being in the middle of the woods, in the middle of Appalachia, and I even said it right that time, I would just pull down my pants. Just pull down your pants. I mean, why go doo-doo in your pants when you just pull down your pants, go on the side of the trail and then, take care of clean up your business there. I'm saying you leave it there, but so I never poop my pants, but seeing all these YouTubers saying they crap their pants, I got to give credence to that. I mean, you're eating like a slob. You're exerting high energy through your body, so your body's flushing itself out. So I would definitely see, people pooping their pants, but I just don't know why they just didn't pull down their pants and go poop instead of pooping their pants. I mean, I can't imagine the logistical nightmare that would create. If you're four days out from town and you got like you know, a gallon of poop juice in your pants that you got to try to clean up. Oh man, I can't imagine. Just pull down your pants and, you know, clean it up afterwards. But so I'm gonna say that myth is true, although I didn't experience it, nor do I remember anyone in my trail families pooping their pants. I think I would know about it. Someone would tell me. If there was one person in our group that would poop their pants, it would be Vegas. And I don't remember Vegas ever pooping his pants or him telling me. But the good thing is Vegas does watch my videos, so he'll comment below if he did poop his pants. He'll let you guys know. He'll have no problem with that, trust me. But I don't remember even Vegas pooping his pants. So I'm gonna say the myth is true, potentially, but never happened to me. My next myth of the trail. This one's not really a myth, I guess, but I just wanted to talk about it. And that is, you're gonna lose a lot of weight on the trail. Now, obviously, you know, for some of us, this is true. You know, unless you're already a marathon runner or some kind of athletic person, you know, with genetics of a lean build, obviously you're not gonna lose that much weight. But if you're a barroom drunk like myself with a, you know, a gut the size of a beach ball, yeah, you're fixing to lose a lot of weight. The weird thing is, you know, when I came home, you know, of course I was decrepit, I was really skinny, and all the people were like, oh, I should try this Appalachian Trail, maybe I could lose weight. And I'm thinking like, what? You know what I mean? Like, they act like I just went out there like on vacation and laid on a beach somewhere and the weight just shed off me. Let me tell you, on the Appalachian Trail, you're gonna lose the weight, but it's gonna come at a price. It's gonna come at physical pain. And, you know, like I said, you just burn so much calories and so much physical torture, and, you know, mentally it gets difficult for you. So yeah, you're gonna lose weight. I typically, my equation of it is, you know, that I see in other people, that you're gonna lose all the weight that medicine says you are overweight. So if you're 20 pounds overweight, you're gonna lose that on the trail, and then I would add another 15 pounds. So whatever weight you're supposed to lose or gotta lose, add 15 to that, and that's probably what you'll come out at the end of the trail. But on the flip side of that, when you get back home, get ready to gain it all back, and pretty quickly. You know, I gained all my weight back in 3 months. So you won't stay that decrepit and skinny for long, you know. So, you know, back to the bar with the barroom food, you know, I gained it back in 3 months. So, oh well, I'll just have to do another hike to lose it all over again. Again, everyone, thank you for watching my video. I kind of enjoy making them. I don't know, maybe I like watching myself on TV. I don't know. But, you know, I get some really wonderful comments from you guys. You guys are like my family. Even though I never met you in person, I can always depend on your kind comments to me. You know, I gotta say, there's probably like 50 of you like that always comment on everything. It's always very positive from the beginning to now. I mean, so I really appreciate that. So love you all. I'll make another video soon. And so long to you from the Jersey Shore, Seaside Heights, New Jersey. Love ya.